Dreams rest softly in the eyes, like dawn hiding inside the night. They shimmer without making a sound, fragile as dew on a silent leaf. The eyes learn to smile before the lips do. They learn to lie kindly to the world. Behind that light, pain folds itself, like a letter never sent. In the heart, wounds breathe quietly, counting time by forgotten moments. Each beat remembers what the tongue denies. Each silence knows an old story. Dreams rise like birds at sunrise, wings made of hope and hesitation. They circle the sky of the soul, searching for a place to land. But the heart is a battlefield of memories, scars drawn in invisible ink. Every smile walks carefully there, afraid to wake the sleeping ache. The eyes carry promises of tomorrow, even when yesterday still bleeds. They reflect stars the heart cannot touch, mirrors of a faith not yet broken. Wounds are not always loud. Some whisper like tired prayers. They hide beneath courage and dignity, wrapped in patience and pride. Dreams knock gently on the eyelids, asking permission to exist. They say, believe once more, even if belief has failed before. The heart listens but answers slowly. It has learned the cost of hope. Every wound is a lesson carved deep, every scar a memory that stayed. Still, dreams refuse to leave. They are stubborn guests of the soul. They light candles in dark corners and call that light tomorrow. Eyes shine brightest in quiet pain, when no one is watching closely. That is where real strength lives, unannounced and unpraised. The heart bleeds without color, without sound, without witnesses. Yet it continues its duty, beating for dreams it fears to trust. Some nights, dreams become tears, slipping silently down the face. They fall not from weakness, but from the weight of holding on. The eyes close to protect the light, afraid the world might steal it. In darkness, dreams grow braver, free from judgment and doubt. Wounds ache more at night, when distractions fall asleep. The heart then speaks, honestly, in a language only silence understands. Dreams paint futures on closed eyes, soft colors over rough realities. They promise healing without proof, and ask for patience in return. The heart answers with endurance, with scars that refuse to harden it. Pain has visited often, but it never fully moved in. Eyes learn the art of balance, how to shine without revealing storms. They become guardians of secrets, protectors of fragile hopes. Dreams sit there like quiet kings, ruling without crowns or thrones. They govern courage and longing, issuing orders to keep going. Wounds bow but do not disappear. They remain as reminders of survival. They say, you were hurt, but also you lived. In the reflection of the eyes, the world sees confidence and calm. It never sees the trembling heart, holding itself together with faith. Dreams are not naive. They know the cost of failure, yet they choose to exist anyway, an act of silent rebellion. The heart grows tired but loyal. It does not abandon its post. Even wounded, it beats on, guarding the last pieces of hope. Eyes open to another morning, carrying both light and weight. Dreams wake before the body does, stretching toward a new chance. And the heart, stitched with scars, whispers a tired but honest prayer. Let these dreams find mercy, and let these wounds finally rest. Morning walks in quietly, as if afraid to disturb the pain. Light touches the eyes first, asking gently, are you still dreaming? Dreams answer with a slow blink, half awake, half afraid. They remember nights of breaking, yet still dress themselves in hope. The heart wakes heavier than the body, carrying yesterday like an unpaid debt. Every beat echoes old conversations, words that never found forgiveness. Eyes look ahead, pretending certainty, while the heart counts its fractures. This is how strength is practiced daily, by standing whole while feeling broken. Dreams stretch beyond sleep. They follow into waking hours. They sit beside tired thoughts, whispering plans that fear interrupts. Wounds do not ask to be healed. They ask only to be understood. They ache when ignored. They soften when acknowledged. The eyes have learned restraint, how to shine without revealing storms. They have memorized smiles, each one masking a deeper truth. Dreams are written there like constellations, visible only to those who look closely. Most pass by without noticing, busy with their own reflections. The heart envies the eyes sometimes, their ability to hide pain behind light. It beats honestly in the dark, where no applause ever reaches. Every wound has a voice, though it rarely gets to speak. It tells stories of trust misplaced, of love given without armor. Dreams listen patiently, they do not interrupt pain. They know healing begins with hearing, not with promises made too soon. Eyes water but refuse to cry, holding dignity like a sacred oath. Tears are saved for solitude, where weakness is allowed to breathe. The heart carries memories like heirlooms, some too heavy to display. It locks them away in silence, hoping time will soften their edges. Dreams insist on returning, even after being proven foolish. They arrive uninvited yet necessary, like sunlight through broken windows. Pain sharpens perception, teaches the eyes to see deeply. Joy becomes rare but honest. Grief becomes familiar but wise. The heart beats slower with caution, measuring trust in careful portions. Still, it has not learned cruelty, only patience born of hurt. Dreams refuse bitterness. They are stubbornly gentle. They believe in unseen outcomes and call endurance a victory. Eyes watch the world carefully, learning where to open fully. They have known betrayal, yet still search for sincerity. The heart understands survival now, not as hardness, but resilience. Each wound has reshaped it, not smaller but deeper. Dreams rest on the edge of fear, balancing courage and doubt. They tremble, yet they stay, choosing hope over retreat. Some days the eyes grow tired, the light dimmed by effort alone. Yet even then, dreams flicker, small flames refusing extinction. Wounds ache in unexpected moments, triggered by scents, songs, names. The heart pauses, breathes through it, and continues its quiet labor. Dreams remind the heart gently, you are more than your scars. They point toward horizons unseen, where pain loosens its grip. Eyes close briefly in prayer, not for miracles but for strength, to carry dreams responsibly and wounds without resentment. The heart answers with persistence, a rhythm that refuses surrender. Even damaged, it chooses love, again and again without applause. Dreams glow brightest in such hearts, where pain did not poison kindness. They bloom slowly, honestly, rooted in endurance rather than ease. And so the journey continues, eyes full of quiet ambition, heart full of unhealed truths, both walking forward together. Time moves like a careful stranger, never apologizing, never waiting. It steps over wounds without asking, yet somehow leaves wisdom behind. The eyes learn the language of distance, how to look without longing too loudly. They keep dreams folded neatly, so the world cannot tear them. The heart grows quieter, not colder, the silence shaped by reflection. Pain has taught it economy of emotion, to spend feelings where they matter. Dreams still knock at odd hours. In the middle of routine days, they interrupt the ordinary, asking, what if you tried again? The eyes hesitate, remembering falls, the bruises hidden beneath composure. Hope has failed before, and memory is a cautious guard. Yet dreams do not demand certainty, only a small space to exist. They are content with maybe, with the fragile courage of attempt. Wounds tighten when doubt appears, as if afraid of reopening. The heart pauses, listens, deciding whether faith is worth the risk. Eyes glance toward horizons once abandoned, paths marked by loss and regret. They see not just the pain there, but the strength that survived it. Dreams change shape. With time, they mature like seasoned travelers. What was once a scream becomes a whisper, still powerful but wiser. The heart learns forgiveness slowly, not forgetting but loosening its grip. Some wounds fade into scars, others remain as tender truths. Eyes witness small miracles daily, kindness in unexpected places. They store these moments carefully, as proof against despair. Dreams grow fed by such evidence, finding roots in lived resilience. They stop chasing perfection and start honoring progress. The heart discovers a new strength, the ability to feel without breaking. Pain visits but no longer rules, its voice softened by acceptance. Eyes begin to shine differently now, not with innocence, but clarity. They know what sorrow costs and what hope is worth. Dreams step forward more confidently, no longer hiding behind sleep. They walk openly in daylight, hand in hand with vulnerability. Wounds still ache when rain falls, when memories return unannounced. But the heart no longer panics. It breathes, steadies, and endures. Eyes closed sometimes, not from fear, but from gratitude for survival. They have seen darkness and lived to tell its lesson. Dreams whisper of gentler futures, not free of pain, but rich in meaning. They promise not escape, but growth shaped by honesty. The heart accepts this truth at last, that healing is not erasure. It is learning to live fully, even where it once bled. Eyes open wider to the present, less haunted by what was lost. They carry dreams without urgency, allowing life to unfold naturally. Wounds become maps, not prisons, guides showing where strength was born. The heart respects them now, as teachers rather than enemies. Dreams settle deeper in the gaze, steady, patient, quietly brave. They no longer shout for attention, their presence enough. And so the soul walks onward, eyes filled with tempered dreams, heart marked by sacred wounds, both aligned in quiet purpose. Seasons turn without permission, teaching the soul to adapt or ache. The eyes watch leaves fall and return, learning that endings are not betrayals. Dreams adjust to changing skies. They learn patience from the earth. What once demanded immediate bloom now waits for the right weather. The heart carries its wounds like rings, each one marking a year of survival. Pain becomes less of an enemy, more a witness to endurance. Eyes begin to trust subtle joys.
Quiet l'autar, un guarda moments.
They discover happiness is not loud. It arrives softly, like forgiveness. Dreams grow less dramatic, more rooted in daily courage. They stop chasing grand victories and honor small, faithful steps. The heart understands loss differently now, not as theft but as transformation. What left made space for wisdom, what hurt carved room for depth. Eyes soften when meeting others' pain.
Recognizing familiars a dos.
Empathy grows where judgment once lived, a gentle strength born of scars. Dreams reach outward, not just inward. They begin to include other souls. Hope becomes something shared, multiplied instead of divided. Wounds open briefly when love appears, fear remembering its old lessons. The heart hesitates but does not retreat, choosing bravery over isolation. Eyes dare to look honestly again, not hiding behind practiced smiles. They reflect truth without bitterness, and vulnerability without shame. Dreams sit quietly beside reality, no longer arguing with it. They learn to coexist with imperfection, finding beauty in unfinished stories. The heart beats with a calmer rhythm, less frantic, more intentional. Pain no longer dictates the tempo, purpose now sets the pace. Eyes find beauty in resilience, in people who stand after falling. They admire survival more than success, truth more than illusion. Dreams evolve into commitments, gentle promises kept daily. They trade fantasy for faithfulness, and grow stronger because of it. Wounds still remind the heart to be careful, but no longer forbid connection. Boundaries replace walls, protection without isolation. Eyes hold gratitude quietly for lessons learned the hard way. They no longer envy untouched hearts, knowing depth has its own grace. Dreams breathe easier in such eyes, safe from reckless expectation. They grow steadily, honestly, fed by patience and self-respect. The heart learns to rest sometimes, to stop proving its strength. Healing continues in stillness, not just in motion. Eyes close at night without fear. trusting morning will arrive. Dreams no longer rush the dawn, they welcome it calmly. Wounds ache less often now, their voices softened by time. When they speak, the heart listens kindly, no longer afraid of remembering. Dreams become a quiet promise, not shouted but lived. They guide choices, shape character, and steady the soul. Eyes open to life as it is, not as it should have been. Acceptance settles gently there, freeing space for peace. The heart, still marked but wiser, beats with earned dignity. It carries wounds without resentment, and dreams without illusion. And in this balance, the soul stands, eyes holding steady light, heart holding honest scars, finally at peace with becoming.